Hi, it's State Representative Jim Walsh here under the dome at the Capitol in Olympia. I'm not in my office for this week's legislative update because we are in the midst of the 8 days long floor action intense period at the midpoint of each legislative session. And then at the end of each legislative session, there's a concentrated period of floor debates, floor votes, amendments on the floor. It's all floor activity. In this case, it's for 8 successive days. And it really is one of the most intense periods during each legislative session. This is where we find out which bills will really go forward or go to bill heaven. On the first day of floor session, there was a lot that went on. There was one really bad bill and a couple of pretty good bills. I'll talk about one of each. The really bad bill yesterday was House Bill 1916, a bill that restricts the ability of people in Washington state to challenge improperly registered voters. Right now in state election law, any resident of Washington can challenge registered voters if they can show that the registered voter doesn't live in Washington, is deceased, or for some other reason is not a proper voter to be registered in Washington. It's an important part of maintaining our voter databases and election integrity and trust in elections in Washington, because as a 100% mail-in voting state, we don't have the natural, organic updating mechanisms that states that use polling places, in-person voting, have. If in a state with in-person voting, you've got to show up and sign a book or show ID in order to get a ballot and vote it at the precinct polling place. We don't have that here. Everybody votes by mail. So there is no inherent process for updating our voter databases. We rely on people to self-identify if they move out of state, the Social Security Administration to update Washington on people who've passed away, and the voter challenge process by which individuals can challenge registered voters and have them removed from the voter databases. So this bill makes that last part, the voter challenge process, much more difficult. It's kind of a complicated scenario, but it's not good for voter ID, for election integrity, and for trust that people have in our elections in Washington. So we were opposed to it, and we debated it pretty vigorously on the floor of the House. Now, the better news, the happier news, is a bill that I prime sponsored was voted through the floor of the House yesterday with very little debate. That was House Bill 2235, which was a bill that protects the privacy of gun owners in Washington state. Right now, your personal information when you apply for a concealed pistol license is protected from public scrutiny. But that protection does not extend to other permits that the state is creating for people who want to buy firearms. My bill extends that privacy protection to the new permit to purchase and other new state requirements for buying or selling any gun, any firearm. I was happy to see that it had bipartisan support. In fact, nearly unanimous support coming off the floor of the House. That's a hopeful sign that this good gun owners' privacy protection bill will make it through the state Senate, where it goes now for review and for a vote, and hopefully to the governor's desk. It's a good bill because it both protects gun owners' privacy, their personal information, and also it assures that people will participate in the state's processes for legally buying firearms. So it's a good bill, one of the rare good gun rights bills that has gone through this legislature like in the last decade. That was just the first day of the intense floor action. Today is the second day, and there are going to be 6 more in a row where the State House and the legislature, we're starting at 9 o'clock in the morning and going till whenever each day. Could be 5 o'clock, could be 8 o'clock p.m., could be midnight, could be 3 in the morning. But this is where we fight. We fight against bad tax policies, bad budget proposals, bad anti-law enforcement ideas, bad unconstitutional ideas. This is the battleground of ideas where we fight for you, your constitutional rights and your statutory rights here in Washington State. We're girding up for the intense period of floor debate and floor action here in Olympia. That's it for now. Until next time, be well and stay strong.